From Radio DePaul, Chicago's college connection.
My father spent 3 years restoring this car. It is his love. It is his passion.
I have an unnatural passion for rocks.
I learned to feel things I'd never felt before. Love, jealousy, passion for disemboweling.
Look at all the passion on that wall.
Well, jazz flute has always been a small passion of mine.
It's a bathroom. It's not just a bathroom, David. It's a passion project.
My passion project. Destroying someone else's passion project.
This is Passion Project with your host, Peyton Basden.
This is Passion Project with your host, Peyton Basden. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday afternoon. Dare I say we've forayed into the evening at this point. A lot has happened. Long, busy week. For me, maybe for you. And we're going to decompress a little by getting into it. Really stirring up the pot with some excellent conversation with today's very special guest, friend, colleague, collaborator, and human being.
Charlotte Ike. Also,
Ooh.
Yeah.
No, that's so fantastic.
Those were really good adjectives.
Thank you. That's how I think of you in my everyday. Charlotte, if you were an animal, which animal do you think you would be?
Oh, I've got to say that I would be a fish.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Exploring streams and waterways.
Yes, all of them.
Freshwater, saltwater.
Ooh. I think saltwater.
In the deep blue sea.
Yes.
I think you'd do great in a coral reef.
Thank you so much. I think it would be like a really good, I'd take a really good selfie there.
That's what I'm saying. A fish selfie.
Yeah.
You'd,
blub.
You'd fit right in Finding Nemo.
Thank you. I've always said that, and no one has ever confirmed that with me, and I'm really glad you said that.
You deserve to hear it.
Thank you.
You put in the work every day to be
exactly. I'm
as
always
awesome.
dressing in orange, black, and white.
Exactly.
Constantly.
Yeah, you have very major clownfish vibes.
Yes.
Just like Nemo or Darwin.
Marlin.
Marilyn. The dad of Nemo.
Yes.
That was a classic franchise.
Yeah.
There's two of them.
There's two, and then Dory. Or is Dory the second?
Dory is the second. Finding Dory.
So there's only two.
There's only two.
Okay.
But I find that series of films has some of the most straightforward titles. They tell you what exactly is going to happen in the movie.
And I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're oh no, what, Brave, I would rather them have called it My Mom's a Bear.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
I mean, Pixar's usually really good at it. Cars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Up. Yeah.
Yeah.
A Bug's Life. Yeah.
Well, yes.
Toy Story. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Good Dinosaur. I don't know if it was good.
But it was a dinosaur.
It was a dinosaur. Yeah. Monsters University.
That's what they did.
That's what they went to college.
They did, and they were monsters.
They were. Speaking of monsters, speaking of Pixar works in close collaboration with a little company known as Disney.
Oh, yes.
And Pixar's one of Disney's ventures. They work together. But Disney has a lot of ventures.
So many.
They are in the theme park game. They do TVs. They do movies. They do merchandise.
Broadway.
Lots of merchandise. They're on Broadway. Any medium you consume, you can find Disney in there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
But we're here today to look at a very particular piece of Disney medium.
Oh, yes.
Very, I dare say it's become its own genre.
I
of
think
film.
so. I think so.
Charlotte, what are we here to talk about?
We're here to talk about Disney Channel original movies, or DCOM if you're feeling crazy.
Ooh,
if you're familiar.
I like the introduction of DCOM into the vernacular.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be using that from now on.
Yeah.
So, I take it you've been a fan of DCOM
since the gate, since birth.
Okay.
Since I've been breathing, I would say.
Live, breathe, die.
DCOM. Yeah.
What was your first movie? What led you into it?
So, the first movie that I remember watching ever is Camp Rock with my mother. My mom's a big DCOM girl.
Okay.
Secretly. Not secretly, but like it is. But then, so Camp Rock's the first one I watched, but High School Musical's the first one that really stuck with me.
Really stuck.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, I believe High School Musical is the longest lasting. Like it is the face of, it is the most popular. That's where I started.
Yes.
In 6th grade when I was in show choir and we were doing a High School Musical themed show, and that really skyrocketed my love for the High School Musical franchise.
It's a good, like, none of them are misses, dare I say.
That's true. Some of the discourse surrounding it has surprised me recently because there's a lot of people who will say that High School Musical 2 is the best. And upon my initial watch, I did not feel that at all. I thought genuinely it was the worst of the 3.
Really?
But upon revisiting and rewatching, I think it's quite close between 1 and 2, but I'll give it to 1.
Yeah. See, and I've always said 1 is the best one overall, 2 has the best story, and 3 has the best soundtrack.
The Boys Are Back?
Yeah.
Killer.
Can I have this dance? I was quoted, I hate to say this, I had a girlfriend my sophomore year of high school, and I put that on a playlist for her. And looking back in retrospect, so embarrassing. Because, like, she was cool. Like, she had, like, I don't know, like, sophomore year high school girlfriend core, like, Cave Town and Conan Gray and things. And I was putting Can I Have This Dance for High School Musical 3.
You really put your heart out there.
I did. I bared my soul. But I think that song is so good. And What I Want is in that, is in the 3rd.
What's the opening number? I think that's probably the best opening of any High School Musical.
Yes. The 3rd's opening is oh my god, this is so
It's the basketball one.
16. 16.
Yeah, this is our last chance to
Chance.
Yeah.
Now or Never is what it's entitled.
There we go. Yes.
That one's so good. I used to listen to that when I would clean my room, like if I had to be fast.
It's so hype.
Yeah.
Like, and also perfect the way it sort of mirrors thematically, or like that sort of continuation on of like get your head in the game from the first movie.
Exactly.
We get to see Troy's journey as he goes,
he puts his head in that game one last time.
He does.
Yeah.
The big game
against the West High Knights, who they play in the first one. So it's all full circle if you think about it.
Yeah. It's a beautiful story, beautiful trilogy. Beautiful everything, honestly.
Yeah.
Incredible lasting legacy, but there's a lot more to DCOM than High School Musical.
So much more.
So, would you say High School Musical was the first, or were there ones before that?
Because there is an era before High School Musical where it was movies like Funhouse, which is like where a house comes alive. There was like, it's called like Xenon from the Planets or something, like, and these are all like, but they're non-musicals. Because then DCOM started really becoming musical, and then like with High School Musical and Camp Rock, and then even the ones that weren't musical after that had like their same vibe. But there was like a pre-era with like the Funhouse, I think Halloween Town would be in that era as well, and those ones just don't have the same vibe. I think High School Musical really was like the first of what DCOMs are today, if you will.
And I feel like Disney realized they like had a hit with that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it started off. Has there been a DCOM since then that wasn't a musical?
There was like Geek Charming is one that's like nerd.
Classic.
It has the girl Sarah Hyland from Modern Family is in it. And then there's like Cloud 9, which was a ski one with Dove Cameron. And these ones are all, they're not, and then there was a few, there's like Girl vs. Monster isn't a musical, but they have the vibes of like, they could be really easily. And then like they always had like an original song to go with it, even though it wasn't a musical. But again, those ones aren't as important, like people don't remember them as much because they don't have the soundtrack.
That's true. So what is your, I guess you could say like top 5. What is your like essential Disney Channel original watch guide?
Yeah. So the High School Musical's first. Then Camp Rock. Now, and I think if you don't like Camp Rock, the first one, amazing, golden 5 stars. You could skip the second one. The second one's good, but like you don't really need it. I feel like it's kind of like, okay, Jonas Brothers. But the first one's really good. Then I would say Teen Beach Movie.
Okay.
This Teen Beach Movie especially, because I really remember that release. The other ones, like, I was really young, so I just remember them being there, but I don't remember them coming out. Teen Beach Movie, I remember watching that when it released at my grandma's house, and they premiered Liv and Maddie right after.
Ooh.
So it was a big night. So Teen Beach Movie's number 3. And again, you could skip the second one. Songs are really good in the second one, but like the stories, like they kind of ruin it at the end, but whatever. 4th, wait. Movie. 4th, I have to go Descendants.
Good
and
choice.
some people don't like Descendants, but I love Descendants. And again, the sequels you don't really need. The second one is good. The third one is awful. If you're gonna watch the sequels, like, go ahead and watch the second one. Don't watch the third.
I've only seen Descendants 2, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
I thought that
Wait,
was a
you've never seen the
fantastic
first
movie.
one?
I've not seen the first one.
Whoa.
I've seen the second one, and I'm like, this is awesome.
Yes. So the second one is good. I just say the first one's just better.
Mm.
But they're both really good. I love Descendants. I hate to say it. And then I think, I think for 5, it would have to be, oh, this one's not a musical. But it's really 16 Wishes with Debbie Ryan is like quintessential Slay.
Can you, for our listeners at home, can you describe a general plot outline?
Yes. So Debbie Ryan she's been looking to her 16th birthday her whole life. And she also, side plot, has her neighbor has the same birthday as her, and they're like enemies because her neighbor's like more popular than her and like awesome and rich. And so she has this like list of things that she like wishes for her 16th birthday, her 16 wishes. And she gets this box of birthday candles, and they have numbers on them that correspond to her list. And every time she blows one out, she gets that wish that's on that number. But she can't change any of the wishes. She can't go back. And one of her wishes was to finally be treated like an adult. And so she wishes for that. And then it like time skips her, and all of her friends are still in high school, but she's like 25 and is being forced to live on her own. And she's like all sad, and she's like, wait, I didn't want to grow up too fast. And then in the end, like, things get like fixed and things work out. But it's crazy. And that one's like so good because that one used to play on Disney Channel all the time. Like, if they on Fridays, they would play movies, and if they didn't have something new to play or like something like interesting, they would just play 16 Candles all the time.
Do you think it's anything about these films that gives them that sort of rewatchability factor? I mean, for me, I think the soundtracks are definitely an outstanding part of that. In the same way that we listen to music over and over again.
Yes.
It's kind of exciting. Like when I rewatch High School Musical or Descendants 2, I'm like, oh, hey, I remember this absolute banger.
Yeah.
And it's like part of the joy is reliving that.
Yes.
But what do you think makes these movies so rewatchable, or like also how they've become so popular, like stick with us?
I think it's because everyone wants to be a teenager forever.
And
I hate to say it, because being a teenager is awesome. Like, when you're in the moment, it's kind of like, whoa, this kind of does suck because, like, oh my God, acne and homework. But, like,
that is the teenage experience.
Yeah, I would say that. Bottled down. But, like, when you're really once you're out of it, and, like, once you're, like, it's fleeting, you're like, wait, being a teenager is awesome, and I wish I was singing about it when I was doing it.
Right.
And so then I think you can rewatch it in the same way that, like, Taylor Swift music is still popular with people who are no longer 15, because it's like it's just the teenagehood of it all.
That's very true. There's a lot of I don't think there's many, if any, that don't focus on like a teenage protagonist. Many of them are set in high school. I want to talk about zombies for a second.
I knew this was coming.
I don't know much about it. I haven't seen any of the films, but I think it's interesting. It feels like the most like boiled down. Disney was like, how do we make the perfect DCOM? First, we put it in high school.
Yes.
Then we take like we take like popular jock with girl, but then like we need to put a fantasy twist on it.
Yeah.
So half of them are zombies.
Yes. So I've only seen the first Zombies.
Okay.
I have not. I think there's 3.
I think there are
because they're
3,
coming out with the 4th one.
Oh wow. Okay, so is this the 4th quadrilogy? The first quadrilogy.
I think so, but I hate to say it, I think they flopped. Like, I think Zombies wants to be, because the golden age, I would say, is like 2006 when High School Musical came out until 2014 when the first Descendants came out. They had a good, I don't know how many years that is, like 7? 8 years? You're right.
Yeah.
They had a good 8-year run. They had a good one.
Yeah,
and if you really, and you could say 2006 to maybe 2016, but I don't know. Like, if you want to give it a full decade.
Yeah.
But actually, I would push it back and say 2004, 2014 is the decade.
Okay.
Anyway. And then I think that they tried to replicate that with zombies, which, yes, putting it in high school and then giving them a secret, the secret being zombies. Because there's always a secret.
Yeah.
There's always a secret identity going on, or like something. So then they tried to do that with zombies, but then it just like doesn't work because the music isn't very good. It's almost too fantastical. Because the thing about like Descendants being fantasy, it's like a fantasy that everyone already knows about because it's like Disney characters, and like there's like magic involved, but it's really high school. Like it's really just like the drama boils down to like being not as fantastical. This is like there's a whole society within zombies, like, and like a class war between the zombies and the humans, and it's like, wait, I don't have time to get into that and dance.
Right.
So that's why I think zombies doesn't work, and so I think it wants to be it so bad, but I just don't. I don't mess with that.
Do you think maybe what sort of like how the generational gap, the generational divide factors into this? Because you and I are similar in age. We grew up in this similar era, which you described as the golden age, with High School Musical, through Descendants. And we love those films. Those are classics. Those soundtracks I think about, I reference, and like people get it.
Yeah.
Do you think that zombies is that for the next generation? Do you think, is it just bad, or is that a byproduct of us growing older?
Yeah.
I don't know how many children you speak to. I don't speak to a lot. But, like, do you think they're getting what they need from Disney?
See, I don't speak to a lot of children. But I also think that it's not even the same for them because a lot of people don't have cable anymore. People just do the streaming of it all. And so it'll go on Disney Plus and stuff. But since it's not, like, being advertised, I don't know if people are seeing it as much. And maybe that's an outside, maybe people do have cable and I don't know.
Some do.
But like, I don't hear much hoopla. And because I think there is this whole thing of people who are young right now, because of how much social media is around, they want to be older, so they don't let themselves indulge in that. Like the Sephora kids of it all.
I see. Now, there is, this is something we've talked about. Disney milks these things hard.
Yes.
Do you think there have been any sequels, spin-offs, any of that has held up to the original, or that has meaningfully expanded the universe? Or do they all read as desperate cash grabs?
Now, I think when this was announced, I was like, desperate cash grab, boring, stupid. The first 2 seasons of High School Musical, the musical, the series, are really good. The first season especially. Like, that's quality. And I mean, it's a Disney Channel show. It's not gonna win an Emmy. It's not giving, like, I don't know what are popular, like, it's not Succession.
Yeah, no.
But it's High School Musical, the musical, the series, and it pays. Like, it was good, that first season. And the second season is good. Then they lost Olivia Rodrigo and things got crazy and they sent him to summer camp. And that wasn't as good. And I watched the summer camp season. I haven't watched the last one.
I've not either.
But I think it was good. It was like Disney Channel meets like the right amount of nostalgia meets like a little bit of Glee, and it was really good. And so I think that works when they like try to lift it up. And that was also good because it was set in a universe where High School Musical exists rather than the High School Musical universe.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it worked. I think if it would have been like Troy's great-great-grandson playing basketball, it would have been like, okay, boo, that's not working. But since it was just kids, it was just theater kids who know High School Musical, who go to the high school, that was like boss.
I will say a testament to that show. It's like, I really dug watching it as being the same age as the people in it.
Yes.
Which is like interesting because, again, these are usually marketed towards younger audiences. And like, if I was in my high school and I just talked to people, I'm like, yeah, have you been watching High School Musical, the series? Like, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
But like, I still dug it and I was emotionally invested because I'm like, I too am a kid who watched High School Musical and am now in theater.
Yes,
relatable.
Exactly. And it happened because it was airing January of 2020. It ended right before COVID started. So then my sister really likes it, and she like got really into like online communities about it and stuff. So then at the start of COVID, we were all really into it. And there was the added, like, also just like the whole, whether it was, and I don't really think it was PR, but if there was, like, the Olivia Rodrigo, Joshua Bassett of it all was helping it even before those songs came out. Like, because I remember when the show was airing and I was really into it, me and my sister would watch videos of, like, proof they're dating. Look at blah, 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 like, their cute moments in interviews. Like, and it really helped it. And that was, like, so it was giving, like, full, like, teen press drama
It
vibes.
was. It was the center of the universe for a
I would
moment
say
there.
that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that was really exciting.
Yeah.
It made me fall in love with theater again. I'm like, wow.
Wow.
Putting on a musical is a special experience.
It's so beautiful. We have a show.
Making a high school musical, if you will.
Yeah. And the Wonder Study stuff, that was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that was a good, like, callback to it. Like, since it wasn't a direct, because it was really a spin-off since it's not, like, in the same universe. But I think that was good. But I haven't seen a lot of stuff and they're making, like, another Descendants now. That's, like, with, like, Dove Cameron's not in it. I think China Anne McClain's Uma is the only, like, returning thing. And maybe in the second one, she's in the second one. Dizzy, who's played by Anna Cathcart, who's in To All the Boys I Loved Before. She's like the Cinderella's stepmother's daughter, and she has, like, the hair studio.
Okay. Yeah.
I think she might be in it, and it's, like, this new generation coming to the aisle or whatever, or coming to the Oregon for school. And it's like you don't have the people, like, it's just not.
Try something new.
Yeah, I just don't think that's going to be as good.
I see, that's the thing, is I think they've always had more success trying something new than making a sequel to an existing property.
Exactly.
Which I know it's difficult to sell somebody on something new instead of, like, remember that movie you liked, here's more of it.
Yes.
But I often find that they don't give you more of it. It sometimes lacks the heart, the soul, the vibe, you know.
The energy of it all.
Because I feel like a lot of those are special because they are strange and they are so singularly and so, like, passionately themselves. Like, we are in high school and we are singing.
And they don't have Kenny Ortega anymore.
Ooh.
And he directed High School Musical, and he did the first Descendants, and some of the other, I don't know about Camp Rock specifically, but he does a lot of them. And he directs a lot of things. Like, he was the choreographer for Dirty Dancing. He directed some episodes of Gilmore Girls, I know, from, like, looking into it. And then he'll just pop up. He did Zoe 101, I think. No, I'm lying. That was a lie, I think. Maybe? I don't know. But he does a lot of these, like, he's involved in a lot of, like, really iconic stuff. Like, he's just really, I think he's also what made those movies so special. His touch.
The magic.
The magic of Kenny Ortega.
Now, in our final few moments here, do you care to comment on where you see the future of DCOMP moving, especially now with the introduction of streaming?
Right.
And I think the slow deterioration or crumbling of, like, a renaissance that they had. Where do you think the next move is?
I think the next move is to, rather than looking at the exact formula of the storyline, like high school secret romance, I think we need to look more into the spirit. What's the spirit of it? Childhood, teenagehood, joy, magic, fun, and music. And I think that going forward, if you really embrace that kind of spirit and interesting stories, I think that could make it really beautiful. I think that's the future. And I think that there should be a Disney Channel land in Disneyland with rides and shows.
That's fantastic. Charlotte, that's a wonderful message to end on. Thank you so much
Thank you for
for your
me.
knowledge, for your passion, for contributing to this project.
Thank you, Peyton Basden.
I appreciate you. And I appreciate all our listeners at home. This one goes out to you directly. I hope you all have had a fantastic weekend. I know we here at Passion Project have.
The best.
Yeah. And I hope you have a great week coming up. Thank you so much for listening, and stay passionate, folks. Catch you on the flip.